Hello there, this is Richard Spirit's Guide presenting a Dreamcast collection, and this is on the Xbox 360. And this is a collection of four Dreamcast games on one DVD, playable on your Xbox. I don't know what the reason for that is, in terms of volume of content, but what I do know is you've got some incredibly loud music. And not all of it is entirely pleasant. So you've got Sonic. Let's play Sonic Adventure, for fuck's sake. Let's get into it. All these games are presented in 16:9 ratio, which obviously the Dreamcast originals were not. They were all 4:3, and so that immediately. What's happened? So that immediately makes them slightly odd looking compared to the originals. Are they all presented in 4:3? 16:9? I don't think they are actually. Base Fishing isn't. Sonic Adventure might be. Let's have a look. I could be lying. No, it's 4:3. I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopaedic shoes. Christ, Alan Partridge. This is the Alan Partridge of fucking game reviews. Anyway, Sonic Adventure always was, and still is, a bit of a divisive game. Some people love it. I've got to say, I did play it all the way through back in the day, but I never felt it was any good, both technically and from a gameplay point of view. I thought it was a bit ugly and a hell of a clunky game to play. Music was okay, if you like noisy rock, which everybody does to an extent, I suppose. I mean, there's a time and place for every type of music, isn't there? Apart from maybe jazz. I don't know, I'm just talking. Looks like I have played this game to some degree on the Dreamcast, so I can probably just pop into a level here to don't know if I just hit the wrong button. Just pop into a level to show you some of the graphics, some of the control woes, some of the pop-in. Don't know if the character models have changed since the Dreamcast version, but they are bloody awful anyway, so if they have updated them, and the Dreamcast originals must have been horrific. Poorly animated. Yep. Story plus music. Yeah, so this had a bit of a hub world thing, didn't it? Where you could go to different hubs, have a little wander around, gain some speed, and crash straight into a wall. Every single time you got above walking speed. The camera was designed to wreck your life, being uncontrollable and inadequate for most situations you find yourself in. The music is pretty good for this game. I know I said it's annoying rock, but it's alright. It's not to my taste, it's alright. Yeah, the graphics on this game are shit, aren't they? I don't remember the Dreamcast original. I don't own the Dreamcast original. I had it when it first came out, and like I said, I played through the whole game, and I was unimpressed by the visuals even back then. So these look extra ropey now to me, to my eyes. You may have different feelings about that. You may think, what are you talking about? This is a beautiful looking game. Awesome voice acting, as is Sonic the Hedgehog's trademark. Or you could just go up to that pipe. Sonic the Hedgehog using his psychic powers there to predict where a robot is taking... is it his girlfriend? I don't think it is his girlfriend. He finds her incredibly annoying, doesn't he? Oh, I'm inside a train. The train doesn't want to go anywhere. A poorly textured train, for a start. Mystic Ruins. I'm into another adventure field. At least they tried something different for Sonic the Hedgehog, didn't they? I mean, you had your 2D platform game. They thought, we've got Dreamcast, we've got ultimate power now to play with. Let's make him 3D.
Hey there, Bolt Brain. You better give Amy to
We'll
me.
hire the worst script writers we can find to write the script for our flagship game, and we will get the worst 3D artists we can find to model unconvincing polygon rocks and wooden structures, and texture the egg carrier with one 16x16 pixel 3-color texture. Look at the resolution of the textures on that bad boy. Look at it. It is blurry. They did a director's cut of this game, didn't they, on the GameCube? I'm wondering if this is based on the director's cut, or whether, you know, the Dreamcast version was even worse than this. Don't know. I don't want to spend the money to find out either, so if someone can tell me about that, please. Look at the textures on this stuff. This is fucking awful, man. It is 1999, I guess, but even in 1999 they knew how to model and texture stuff, surely. A texture so repetitive on the rocks there, looks carpeted. We've got some sort of secondary blue stripiness going on, performing the function of reflection mapping. Oh, there's water there. Couldn't see the surface of the water there. Completely transparent. More classy music. What happens if I climb this ladder? That's what Sonic's about. Sonic the Hedgehog is about climbing ladders. Oh, I'm in a stage. Randomly. How very odd. Well, it's an adventure, isn't it? You never know what's around every ladder corner. There's a lot of loading in this game so far. All I seem to be doing is looking at loading screens. Does Tails follow me? He does. What's going on here? I'm running up a hill. Let's run uphill. Okay, some shit textures. The character is uncontrollable. You get to a certain speed. You have to press up to run forwards, and left and right work in the appropriate direction. But what it essentially means is, to gain speed, pressing up is the thing to do, but then steering left and right makes him wobble all over the place because the sensitivity is a bit freaky. It's the same as Sonic R, and the controls didn't work in Sonic R because you were just all over the shop, and level design didn't cater for your controls. They needed to either fix the controls for the levels or fix the levels to the controls. They have done neither. The people making this game didn't talk to each other. They just said, I'm going to do what I want to do. Fuck the end user. And essentially that's what's happened. There's like a flamey worm there. That's quite impressive. I quite like that. That was good. A lot of this stuff looks stinky though. I suppose, like I said, if you were brought up with this game, if you played this game back in the day, and it's part of your childhood, you'll probably get fun out of this. Taken as it is now, with a jaded pair of eyes, I've seen plenty of games. This really is a very awkward, bad-looking and poorly controlling platform game at the moment, starring a royal blue hedgehog whose design has changed since his Mega Drive heyday. Look at this, is just awful. Those spikes coming out of the ceiling there, what function do they actually perform? It's like you're never going to hit them, are you? Maybe you can come back to this stage with a different character, huh? And if you fly across there or something, the spikes get you. I don't know. That's wishful thinking. I don't think anything like that happens in this game. At least I don't remember it doing that anyway. Seems to be
careful not to fall off.
Navi the fairy has made it from Legend of Zelda into the Sonic game, which is handy. I just got 100 coins. Yep, loop-the-loops physics are broken. That's good. And you can go into like a first-person perspective mode.
Use the panel to jump. It may even help guide you.
Oh, I wonder if it's gonna, help guide my way after such a strong hint. Pointless. The whole of that was pointless. Okie dokie. Some more loading. What's going on now? Weird lighting on this section. Oh shit! I'm so gnarly and cool and edgy that not even an avalanche can catch me. What's happened to Tails? Tails presumably is dead. Rolled up in the middle of an avalanche, crushed by rocks and sticks. Sonic really does not give a shit about Tails or anybody else. He is one selfish hedgehog. The camera on this is very odd. Like there's some fisheye thing going on, and the responsiveness of the snowboard is really twitchy, making this a massive freaking ball ache. Oh, so there is indestructible crystals in with the destructible crystals. Well, why wouldn't you do that as a designer? Or why wouldn't you do that? For God's sake. Oh, it's snowy though, isn't it? Got some trees. This is ugly. This is an ugly game. How did this score back in the day, this game? It must have sold quite well. Must have sold a lot of copies and scored quite highly for people to have put it on a Dreamcast collection disc with some other actually rather niche Dreamcast games. But anyway, I wonder if they were ever planning a sequel to this Dreamcast collection, because they didn't really put the best games on here, did they? Let's call it what it is. A low quality collection of games. So you may or may not like Sonic the Hedgehog. That's fine. Let's go on to the next game, which is Crazy Taxi. And I'm sure every man in the world, and every woman, and every child, and every parakeet has played Crazy Taxi at some point, or a variant thereof. It's a game where you drive a yellow taxi around New York, picking people up, fleecing them for cash. We're going to play that? We're going to play Base Fishing. No, we're going to play Crazy Taxi. Beautiful. So this is the third version of this same game that I've got. I've got this on the Dreamcast original. I have a GameCube version of this, and now I'm playing it on a 360. So I own this game in three guises, and I gotta say that this version is not as good as the Dreamcast original. It's blurrier for one thing. It's been stretched to fill this screen, and I don't know if that's something that I've done in the options or whether it automatically does that. And the licensed music is not available. Actually, this resolution looks a bit better than Dreamcast. I lied there. Those character models look sharper. It's just the screens that look blurrier. Oh, music is awful. It's a sound alikey, isn't it? Draw distance is still similarly kind of patchy. There's some drawing. Game is responsive, I guess. I'm guessing that the locations are different in this version of the game too, in terms of no KFC, Popcorn Mania or whatever it was. There was a shoe shop as well, which I've forgotten the name of. It's probably got all the real world locations taken out as well, hasn't it? It's the same game. Plays quite nicely. Widescreen. It's a nice option. I think it is just scaled though. I don't think it's like scaled to fit. I don't think it's showing any more of the environment. I think it's just kind of stretched. It's difficult to tell. It's nice to have a full screen. Yeah, this music's in terrible. Fried Chicken Shack. This music's terrible. Yeah, so it doesn't have KFC in it or Pizza Hut. Fried Chicken Shack, huh? A bit of slow down there. Okie dokie. Yep, the signs are a bit nasty, aren't they? Looks like a lot of these shop fronts have actually changed down this road. And the pop-in is marginally better, I'd say. So I don't know whether this is based on a PC version of the same game or not. But it's definitely edited and censored. So there you go. But it is Crazy Taxi. It plays like Crazy Taxi. So this disc is... when I bought it, it was less than £10. And if you wanted to play Crazy Taxi on your Xbox 360, I guess it's worth the cash for that alone. Because Crazy Taxi is a quality game. But be prepared for some shit music and dodgy shop names. This game truly is crazy. Yeah, I don't think there's any graphical improvements. And it still slows down in the same way as the original. Fair enough. Yep. It's not a huge amount more to say about Crazy Taxi. It's as you remember it. I wonder why they ignore Crazy Taxi 3, the Xbox one. Because, look, I've got a box hat. Because that would have been also like a Crazy Taxi collection, wouldn't it? With 1, 2 and 3 on some sort of console. Because I'd like to have played 3, and never got a chance to play it. I didn't have an Xbox when that came out. Played 2 a bit on the Dreamcast. I quite like 2. It's got a bit of a different vibe about it. It's groovy. 1's a Stone Cold classic. But yeah, never really had the opportunity to play Crazy Taxi 3. And I'd like a re-release, please. And it might be cool to have an HD remix of the original Crazy Taxi. How about that? Eh? How about that? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Because some of these shop fronts are a bit nasty. But hey, probably not necessary though, is it? People have played this to death. There's a few Sega coin-ups in this series of kind of weird jobby games. And by jobby I don't mean poo, I mean like having a day job. There was that ambulance one, there was like a safari one. So a collection of those on a disc might also be quite cool. I think the Wii had a compilation with 2 kind of shoot 'em ups, robot sort of gun shoot 'em ups for your Wiimote. I think was one of them called Gunblade? I can't remember. But I had that back in the day and I quite enjoyed that. They should do more of those type of things. Oh, and you could get House of the Dead, couldn't you? On the old compilation on the old Wii. House of the Dead 2 and 3 I think it was. Not House of the Dead 1 for some reason, which is odd. But yeah. It's about time they re-release some of those classic games. Yeah, this game's a classic. Can't argue with it. You can't argue with that. So for your £10, you get a decent copy, a decent but slightly neutered copy of Crazy Taxi. You get a visual abomination, visual and gameplay vacuum that is Sonic Adventure. Although, so if I was going to score it out of 10, I'd score it a 3 out of 10. But if you have any sort of childhood memories associated with playing Sonic Adventure, you can add a 6 to that score, and I'd let you, because nostalgia does play a part. I mean, there's probably people looking at this video, modern day people that weren't born in the old times, before the Empire, and looking at this game going, this is just graphically terrible. But what you don't understand is, this game is incredibly fun to play. Skill-based arcade action. Sonic Adventure is just a dog shit on a disc. Unless, of course, you loved it as a child, and then it's an amazing, expansive adventure starring a blue hedgehog with attitude. Sorry, BD Joe, I'll let you down there. Yeah. Class A. Okay, what game are we looking at next? We are going to look at Space Channel 5. One of the things about this disc is you have to keep booting back to the Xbox dashboard. I can't say that drunk. Xbox dashboard. To boot up the next game in the list. You can't, there's no like just picking like Space Channel 5 from a menu inside one of the other games. You have to boot back to the dashboard and launch the whole bloody thing again. Roboding. No roboding. This is presented by Sega. This will be the first time I've ever played this game. I've never played Space Channel 5. I never, back in the day, wanted to play Space Channel 5. From what I remember, it's a rhythm action game. Kind of like a Simon Says Parappa the Rapper type thing. But it's on this disc, so I'm going to give it a crack now. And we have some pre-rendered visuals, and we're now roboding again. There's lots of roboding on this disc. All these games robode too much. It's quite funky. It's like a vector spaceship. Oh, it's part 2. It's not the original one. It's the sequel. So I never played the original either. Of Space Channel 5. I'm quite liking these vector kind of shapes here. This one's in widescreen as well. So I was wrong about the 4x3 thing. Looks like I've had one go on this game. So this is the recording. I've played this game once. And then I'm playing it again and I'm recording it. So you tap the buttons and the D-pad in time with the prompts on screen, or what do? You watch the people dancing, and I can't remember. There's some FMV. Let's get into it. Let's see what we've got to do here. This is a bit Austin Powers, isn't it? Lovely stuff. It's roboding again. I can't remember what you do. You press. Does it tell you what to press? All these questions will be answered when I start playing it. Here we go.
On today's edition of Ooh La La's Report Show, we bring you up-close coverage of an unidentified dance troupe which attacked this very spaceship.
She's got a shadow of a ball.
Huh? A curious man just ahead.
Not the shadow of a human. Rich people dancing silly.
Watch me bust some moves and copy me with no mistakes.
So these are the culprits.
You lose.
This game is very joyous and
Like it or not, dance battle.
camp. So if that's your thing, Yeah, it tells you what to do.
Up, up, up.
Bit off time there.
Down.
Down.
Yeah, it's not unpleasant.
Right. Left. Right. Left.
Right, left, right, left. Roger.
Yeah, not doing very well here.
Chew. Chew. Chew.
Chew, 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 chew,
Chew. Chew.
The animation's weird and clippy.
chew, chew,
Okay.
chew,
Chew. 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 Chew.
chew, chew, chew.
Very nice.
When I was playing this and recording this, my missus was looking over my shoulder, and she was wondering what the hell I was doing playing this game, because this isn't the normal sort of game that I would play. And to be fair, if I was in her shoes, I would have questions too. But it is just a game. It just features some
Very nice indeed.
odd choices. The dancing's all cool though. But you gotta love that. Yeah, so
They're coming for you. Follow him closely and aim sharp.
this guy in this slinky suit here is a bit odd, isn't he?
Ready for this?
Yeah. She didn't really know what to make of this. She was a little freaked out, to be fair.
Chew.
Up,
Up. Chew. Chew. Chew.
up, chew, chew, chew.
Press left for left and right for right.
And I wasn't doing particularly well either. So she was
Chew.
Chew,
Right. Chew.
right, chew,
Left. Chew. Right.
making noises.
right.
Sorry, I'm watching this. Like I recorded this video a while back, and I'm watching it back now, and it's blowing my mind. It is absolutely blowing my mind.
Come on. Right. Hey.
Right. Hey.
It's the kind of game that makes you think, what the hell was Sega thinking back in the day?
Left.
And how the hell did they lose that console war? Because this is amazing in multiple senses of the word. Look at this, like a tribe of people dancing, exactly the same as me.
Hey.
Chew, up, hey.
Chew. Right. Hey.
Yeah, I'm doing very well here.
Hey.
It's I think the timing for when the
Right.
your moves have to start
Hey.
doesn't give you enough notice.
Left. Chew. Chew.
Can't you aim
Shit. Mess that up.
Left. Chew. Chew. Right. Chew. Chew.
Right. Chew. Chew.
Chew.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'd play this game much more than I have on this video.
Nice going, Ulala.
I certainly haven't booted it up since I recorded the video. Not that I had an awful time, I just I'm crap at it, as you can see from the video, and I can't be bothered to explain myself to my wife.
From the dance game.
If I got addicted to this and I played nothing but this game
You should be taken seriously.
for hours on end,
Listen up.
I think she might have me committed, or file for some sort of divorce maybe.
Chew. Chew. Chew.
Is
Chew.
this is all a bit awesome. This is too awesome for me, that's for sure.
Chew. Chew.
That's the trick.
Timing is very odd on this game.
Down. Chew. Chew. Chew.
Up. Down. Down. Chew. Chew. Chew.
Right. Right. Left. Left. Chew. Chew. Chew.
I like the little robot fellas, they're quite
Left.
cool.
Chew. Chew. Chew.
Chew. Chew. Chew. Chew. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Chew. 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 Hey. Hey. Hey.
Good, good.
I'm sitting there watching this video and I am tapping my foot to the beat.
Left.
Left. Left.
Right. Right.
Right. Right.
Up. Down.
So, you got a Dreamcast disc for your Xbox 360. You got Crazy Taxi, and you've got Space Channel 5. I think if you boot it once and it hooks you, you'll be playing this quite a lot. It's not unpleasant in any way whatsoever. The graphics are obviously dated slightly, but the animation is quite nice. I like all the dance moves, that's groovy. Gameplay will take some getting used to. This is all cool. It's got a bit of a Jet Set Radio vibe to it, I like it. So it's like Austin Powers crossed with Jet Set Radio and I don't know.
Ready to fire.
Some sort of PVC nightmare.
Stay tuned.
And it's foreboding again. Okay, well, that's Space Channel 5. I would say yes. So next we have got Sega Bass Fishing, which is a fishing game by Sega, where you sit on a virtual boat on a virtual lake, cast a virtual lure to catch a virtual bass fish. I've never played this game before. I have zero interest in fishing. Let's see how Sega can make this a lively and engaging experience. Now, I know the original Dreamcast game had a fishing rod controller. This, however, is running on a Xbox 360, so I don't have access to such a device. So the controls might be a bit shit, and I'm betting the graphics are going to be a bit shit, and the sound is going to be a bit shit. Just a guess, because I can't remember from when I recorded this what it does actually look and sound like. We've got some settings here. What are we going to look at? Did we click on settings? Yes, we did. Setup. Okay. Ooh, we've got a display mode thing. So you can go full screen, or you can go 4:3. Let's go 4:3. So it looks like, yeah, the 16:9 ratio is literally just the 4:3 image stretched to fit. So it doesn't respect any sort of pixel ratios or add any extra environment around. It literally just stretches the image to fit, which is very hacky and nasty. And it's not really respecting the original artwork, such as it is. So let's get into arcade mode. Lake Paradise, huh? Looks like you've got one lake with 3 locations, and this is the lodge. You have to catch 11 pounds of fish on a very tily textured water. Graphically, this game is, as predicted, fairly damn ugly. I see it appears to be on some sort of hoverboard. So cast your lure, and you got wavy underwater graphics, lovely. And you reel it in. Wind your neck in, son. Oh, there's a fish there. Does the fish want a little fishy? Yes. And then what do you do? I haven't got a rod. I'm using a joypad. Yeah, they haven't changed the control prompts to a joypad. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, do I? The underwater world is very barren. I will say that for it. There appears to be a log and a rock. Okay. Fishing in real life I find tedious, and I have done a fair share of it. Fishing virtually is also, well, it's worse because you're not actually outside. You are looking at like a shit environment. Whereas at least when you're outside on a river, you can listen to the birds, can't you? Hey, listen to the bitterns booming, the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull of your boat. Here, you've got some fucking horrible CG and a weirdly textured fish to catch. So I caught a fish, not entirely sure how I did it. Never going to play this game again. So, Dreamcast collection. 4 games, 2 of which are fun, one of which is fun depending on your childhood, and then you've got this one, which doesn't control very well because you don't have the fishing rod controller. So, it's a bit pointless. You'll get it for less than a tenner. Crazy Taxi's cool. Dreamcast collection on the Xbox 360. And that's me. Ta-ra!
The biggest bass you've caught. Good. Game over.